Discussion about the unicorn shall last forever. I wholeheartedly agree, mate. We were probably doing this with horses back in the day, sitting around the campfire. We're always chasing perfection, but never quite getting it. I myself, I love that bikes aren't necessarily perfect off the showroom floor. Part of the enjoyment for me is the accessory market, and tailoring the bike to my needs is something we'll be talking about until the end of time. As you can see, it's time for another Q&A. If I seem a little deflated in this video, it's because I've been up half the night with a sick child, and you should also pay attention to that, because if you don't see a video next week, you now know why, because I always get sick when my kid gets sick, and she gets sick a lot at the moment because she just started daycare. So pray for me out there. I can already feel the bugs starting to smash my weakened immune system. Anyway, back to the Q&A. We've got lots of great questions, so let's just dive straight in. And of course, if you've got any comments or questions that you would like to see in an upcoming Q&A, chuck them down below. So let's jump back into the comments section. It's too bad Honda hasn't upgraded the emissions on the XR650L so it can be imported to countries with more stringent emissions standards. All else performance and weight being equal, our Aussie friends would be adopting the Honda in droves. The DR650 is very popular down under, if only because the Honda is too stinky. Okay, yeah. Well, it was a popular bike until 2008 here, when I believe that's when it finally got cancelled. Really, the only big thumper we can get brand new off the showroom floor is a KTM 690 Enduro R, and that is not a bike everyone can afford, myself included at the moment. There's no way I could pony up for almost 20 grand for a dual sport. So it is a shame that this budget end of the market in the big thumper realm has been shut down, and I do agree with you. If they updated the emissions standards and did a few little tweaks here and there, the XR650L I think would be a fairly popular bike. There's a lot of people that would be interested, because the CRF 450RL is a little bit too much of an enduro bike for a lot of people. The CRF 300L, while I'm very happy with the power it makes, there's a lot of people that really would like another 10 or so horsepower to really be happy. So I think the 650L really would be a nice addition to the lineup here down under. Just wondering why you would put dual discs on the 650. Does it need it? It would be extra weight for something that hasn't been required so far. This is an excellent point, which leans to the possibility of this being a bigger motor, which I brought up in Adventure News. It could be a bigger capacity engine, like the 850 one-off concept that we saw from Royal Enfield at the Goodwood Festival of Speed. The extra power could warrant that extra disc. I've also heard some arguments that it could be because they want extra braking power, because they know this bike will have a pillion on it quite a bit, as well as luggage and the extra weight of the fairing and maybe a bigger tank. And that could all be true, but we've also got the Meteor 650, which is two-up ready, has panniers on it, and is likely to be considerably heavier than what this Himalayan 650 will be. And that only has a single front disc. So that kind of negates that it needs it because of the extra weight theory of the pillion and your luggage. It could also just be that the brakes on all the 650s aren't fantastic. It's adequate, but they're certainly not great. So maybe Royal Enfield, thinking this Himalayan 650 will be their flagship of the 650s, want to chuck dual discs on there to set it apart from the other bikes, to really have something to grab attention from the other 650s. But we really won't know until the bike is released. I'd love to know everyone's theories down in the comment section below. Will I be reviewing the CF Moto 450 MT? Yes, I am. I was supposed to do it last month, but I was sick. It's just a matter of health and having the time to do it. And with the kids starting out at daycare, any parent that's been through this knows this is an absolute gauntlet of contracting the plague, because they just get sick all the time. And of course, that means I get sick as well. So who knows how long it will be, but I'm definitely going to be doing a review on the 450 MT. Could someone explain to me, in this era of motorbikes, how the 690 Enduro R has been around since 08 and KTM have never had the bright idea to design a fairing and slightly larger gas tank to make an adventure version like they did with the 640? How many iterations of their other adventure bikes have come and gone in the last 16 years, while they stubbornly avoid this low-hanging fruit? And then the reply is probably because they keep selling KTM 690s for a lot of money and people do their own adventurizing and accessorizing. I completely agree with that. And the other reply is the beauty of the 690 is it doesn't have all that rubbish. Yes, exactly. That's why I chose the CRF 300L. It's a clear canvas to turn into whatever you want. To me, I'm kind of on the fence. I certainly would love to see the reimagined 640 Adventure. I think that was a fantastic bike, but there's so many accessories ready, rally kits ready to go. It's not really needed. It'd just be nice to see, but I'd love to know people's thoughts. Would you be up for basically an adventurized version of the 690 Enduro R on the showroom floor? Are you happy with the blank canvas that is the current 690? Chuck your thoughts down below. This has to be my favorite comment for the month. At 65, I've never owned an adventure bike. I don't buy into street cred. I got a new Kawasaki ER6F in 2006. I've covered over 30,000, doesn't say miles or kilometers, but it is a lot. I'm guessing miles if you're saying you've been in most countries in Europe. And I had back surgery in 2014, which meant a 9-year gap in my riding. I got back on the road last year. Congratulations, mate. Not a lot of people know the absolute slog it is. Go through the difficulty of the injury, then the rehab, the setbacks, slowly gaining strength, tooth and nail to finally get back to doing what you love. Having had a few injuries myself, I completely understand the struggle there, mate. So I'm really happy you're back out on a bike and doing what you love. I got back on the road last year, and after servicing and putting a new exhaust and forks and a new battery, she started first time on the button. Love it, mate. Japanese quality. I'm not as able as I was, but I'm happy I didn't buy a bigger bike. Nothing wrong with a budget bike so long as it's Japanese. It's been a blessing. And I absolutely love this sentiment. In fact, I made an entire video on this. I cover the news and I review new bikes a lot on this channel. It's part of what I do. And sometimes it's a little hard not to get caught up in the new shiny, obsessing over all the specifications, and that absolute need within me to have one of everything because I love motorcycles so much. And every now and then I need to take a step back and remind myself that it's actually about the ride and making memories and being on two wheels. It doesn't matter what you're on, what you ride, what it says on the tank, you are winning in my view. And I made a video on that called Ride What You Have, Make Memories with What You Got, and Maximize Today. And that is the epitome of this, not only having a bike for so long, but coming back from injury and having it there waiting for you to get back in the saddle. It's a great story, and I want to end on that positive note. So thanks for sticking with me to the end. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And as always, guys, don't forget to stay shiny side up.